What's up guys, this is Ono's Head Explode here, or Head for short, and Sheep Moose on Xbox Live, bringing you a gameplay commentary of, dare I say it, Bad Company 2 Vietnam. So, this is a game that I haven't really played too often in the past. I was a big fan of it on the console version, and I played the shit out of it there, but coming to the PC side of things, starting off from scratch, it was kind of hard to jump into due to the fact that I didn't have Magnum ammo and everything. Excuse me. But this is a gameplay that I got just recently using the AK-47. I'm not going to talk about the gameplay because, to be honest, I actually don't know shit about the gameplay apart from the final score and that we end up winning. I don't even know the map name. So nonetheless, guys, I haven't played what am I even saying? Haven't even played Black Ops in a while. Reason being is that I'm a bit bored of Black Ops. I'm a bit bored of the whole Call of Duty thing at the moment. So when I start talking throughout this commentary, it's going to seem a little biased, but I want to start talking about, the typical Battlefield 3 versus Modern Warfare 3 debate. For me personally, I think Battlefield 3 is already going to be a buy for me. I'm not completely sure about Modern Warfare 3, and that's that's the problems I've been having with it. A lot of people from the PC side of things have been, pretty hateful towards Modern Warfare 2, and with good reason. It pretty much came out on PC, the PC version of it, straight from consoles. Had no extra support for the PC guys, which is, something that, while the PC guys expect a lot of, they don't always get, but it's always nice to get. So instead it was basically a game which hardly even worked on the PC too well. It wasn't really fixed too late in the game, so I think Modern Warfare 3 I'm a bit skeptical about. From what I understand, Modern Warfare 3 is coming out in November, and if I read correctly, Battlefield 3 is coming out in October. Now, November isn't too far away, mind you, but at the same time, excuse me once again, at the same time, I'm pretty sure that there's currently discussions about dedicated servers in Modern Warfare 3 on the PC version, and I think if they've left it this late to do it, chances are they won't really come out, which is a real damn shame. But nonetheless, to me, Battlefield 3 looks very promising. It's running off a new engine which fully utilises DirectX 11 and will have much better graphics, with the same fun and interesting dynamic of gameplay. This is key here. I think the fact that they're releasing a new engine is just going to, set it up for a huge revolutionary change. The fact that they've tried to update the graphics as much as they can is really good. Unfortunately, it doesn't support Windows XP and DirectX 9 on the PC version, so if you guys are running XP, I mean, it's pretty old anyway, I suggest upgrading to Windows 7. Skipping Vista is a smart move, but yeah, I'll definitely upgrade to Windows 7 as it's, it's actually a good OS and I haven't really had that many problems with it. Modern Warfare 3 will be running on from what I've read, a somewhat updated engine ported over from Modern Warfare 2. So the graphics are going to be the same, and while the gameplay dynamics had a promising change with added recoil and bullshit perks removed from what I understand, I expect the game to feel and act like any other Modern Warfare game, with the same amount of bullshit moments to be had. Bullshit moments like, unbalanced and overpowered guns, that type of thing. There's always an overpowered gun in any Call of Duty game. That's, you can't really deny that, it's just the truth. So, I think one key point to that is that Battlefield 3 is going to have a closed beta. I'm pretty sure I'm not completely sure about this. I know that it's for the PC guys, but I think it's also possibly for the Xbox and PS3 guys who pre-ordered pre-ordered Medal of Honor before release. I've heard about a lot of PC guys exclusively pre-ordering Medal of Honor just for the fact of trying out the Battlefield 3 beta when it gets released. So this is going to mean that basically when Battlefield 3 gets released, it's going to be a lot more polished, refined. Exploits will be taken out of the game by that stage, I hope, as it's kind of hard with Modern Warfare 3. They've said that they're debating having an open beta, but chances are it'll just be a beta around the offices, if that makes sense. They've been talking about how they've had a Friday fight night discussion, and playtime, as you would call it, I suppose, between the developers and the officers. But really, I think, a closed beta is the only way to go, considering that there's a lot of people with the in the community that choose to actually go out aggressively looking for exploits. From the Black Ops footage that I saw before release, it was pretty much the developers walking around crouched, which, you can't really find exploits when you're walking around crouched. So Black Ops was released with a lot of exploits. With that in mind, I think Modern Warfare 3 is just going to come out and people probably play it for about a month with no real issues, and then, of course, the people who found the Javelin glitch will probably end up finding something else, and it'll ruin the games for some time. Although I've heard promising news that, possibly there's going to be some really good post-launch support. I'm not completely sure how to feel about that, due to the fact that it took many months before a patch was released to fix things like, one-man army and noob tubes on Modern Warfare 2. So Battlefield 3, from what I understand on the PC version, is going to have 64 players in a map at a time, at max. 64 players is huge. Pretty much, it's just going to keep the gameplay fast-paced. It's going to allow the maps to be big without, constantly searching around for people which you can't really seem to find. While the numbers are smaller for the console version of the game, the number is still a high amount of 24. This is already a higher number than what I've seen from console versions of Call of Duty in the past. From what I've seen in Call of Duty, a lot of the times it's 12 people in a lobby with 6v6. I'm not sure, as it's been a while since I've played it, if Ground War was 10v10 or 8v8, maybe even 9v9, but nonetheless, that amount of people going at it in a map as large as Wasteland on Modern Warfare 2 was a bit, sure enough, there was some times in Wasteland where you came across a lot of people, but it was a bit, still too open space for the amount of people in it. Black Ops, while there was a lot of maps which were, rather big and open-spaced in some instances, a lot of the times it seemed like there was, too squishiness, too many, choke points around the map, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of, I'm very impressed at the fact that there's going to be 24 people on the console version and 64 on the PC version. These numbers may possibly change, although I know that the 64 player amount on the PC version is pretty much stuck there and set in stone, but 64 players, that's a good amount. Keeps gameplay nice and quick, nice and snappy, straight into action type thing. Battlefield 3 will have dedicated servers. It has been confirmed that matchmaking will be the way people play on Modern Warfare 3, and while the developers are in discussion about dedicated servers for the PC version of Modern Warfare 3, we can only guess that the PC version will come out without them, or possibly, with them. But from what I understand, a lot of people have said, we want dedicated servers. It's taken the developers a long time to discuss with Activision whether dedicated servers is a thing to do. It's unfortunate for that, due to the fact that, Activision haven't really been listening to the fans as much as they've just been listening to the, to the bank account, if that makes any sense. And they're trying to cheapen things up as much as possible, and unfortunately one of the things to cheapen it up is to go with matchmaking. So people are going to have the problems of, host migration and, bad hosts and that type of thing, which is a real shame. So Battlefield 3, it's getting more points on the basis of that. Just the fact that it has dedicated servers itself is huge, which means that, you don't really have to put up with as much bullshit. So I think, with that in mind, I think Modern Warfare 3 should really just... I think the developers of Modern Warfare 3, while they've tried to make the game a lot better for the community, it seems like Activision are just kind of pulling them down underwater and telling them, we want to constrain you to what you can do. While, oh, by the way, guys, I just sped up this bit because actually, I ended up having a lot of teammates around me. Kind of slowed down my computer. We're all pretty much holding up in this choke point here. But I only get about 4 kills during this, so it's nothing really too big, and you don't really miss out on too much. As I was saying though, Modern Warfare 3, it'll be an easy game to jump into, which is usually expected from the Call of Duties. But, you know, with that in mind, I think the hardest part of jumping into Modern Warfare 3 will be the newer maps that people would not have grown accustomed to at the early stages of release. Once these maps are learnt, though, by the majority of people, it's very easy for people to do well. Battlefield, on the other hand, will need to have a larger amount of time to be had getting used to the guns, positioning, tactics, before a newer player does well. But I think with that in mind, you know, it's safe to say that once somebody gets used to the way to play in Battlefield, you know, it's hard for them to forget how to play in Battlefield, and at the same time it's a lot more rewarding. There's many vehicles in Battlefield which people will have to learn. Battlefield 3 will, you know, feature the jets, and while it's confirmed that there's only 2 of them at this stage, it's unconfirmed as to the full amount that will be there at the end of the game, when the game's released, I suppose. So the learning curve is going to be bigger on the Battlefield 3 game, but I feel that it's going to be a lot more kind of, you know, like a lot more rewarding at the same time. You're going to have a lot of fun flying around planes without waiting to get 11 kills in a row while camping in a corner or something with a claymore. But that's pretty much, you know, that sums up pretty much my discussion of Modern Warfare 3 versus Battlefield 3. I think for me personally, I'm a bit skeptical on purchasing Modern Warfare 3, but as of now, you know, I'm definite on purchasing Battlefield 3. I think it's going to be the better game. I'm waiting to hear discussions about how dedicated servers and mod tools are being implemented into Modern Warfare 3 on the PC version, whether they are or aren't. If they're not, I'm just going to, you know, call the game there and just say it, you know, well, this is bullshit, I'm not going to be buying it. It'll probably be the last Call of Duty that I will buy if it does come out with dedicated servers, depending on what comes out after it. But for now, you know, I'm definitely buying Battlefield 3. I like Battlefield 2 and I love Bad Company 2. If you guys like the Bad Company 2 video, you guys just need to let me know. I've got another commentary that I can do in the near future, which is kind of short, but me using the sniper rifle and using it aggressively. I've also got some Team Fortress 2, which has just come out for free on Steam. That's a wonderful game from what I've seen of people playing it, so make sure you give that a free download. Completely free on Steam, except for the fact that you actually have to purchase a few extra parts here and there if you really want to. But it's not like a necessity to purchase them. Apart from that, guys, you know, the final score for this was pretty good. I've only recently gotten used to playing this game, so I was rather impressed with myself. It's been a while since I've brought out a video due to the fact that my computer was pretty much crapping out on me every time I tried recording this for some reason. But I managed to get this gameplay, which was good, although it took about, maybe about a week to actually get some gameplay which wasn't corrupted with the files at all from the game shutting down on me. But nonetheless, guys, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've got some TF2 that I can upload in the near future, I suppose, once I start getting used to that game and playing it a little more. You know, as I was saying, I've got more Bad Company 2 videos, and I'm always willing to bring out them, but you might not see any Call of Duty videos in the near future, so sorry to say that. Our team won here, and, you know, the good thing about this is that it was actually really satisfying to win, as usual with these games, because you can't really go around Ramboing in Bad Company 2 or any Battlefield games and win, so it was good for the team to, you know, just rack up that win, especially when it was full of randoms. The final score was 31-11. You know, it wasn't the best, but it's probably the best I've gone in a long time. This has been Ono's Head Explode, guys, and as usual, I hope you have a nice weekend. If you guys could just give me a like and a comment, that'll, you know, do great. And I hope to hear from you soon. Alright, guys, peace.